So let's talk. Rebeltrainer, coach of your Renegade Zarudes. Welcome on in, guys. Obviously, new addition to the family. Say hello to Charles. Super excited. We have our fifth. He's a baby boy. So lots of exciting things going on in our family. With that being said, Draft League is going on now. Obviously, we had our week 1 opponent, and we had an awesome battle against him. So this is kind of post-commentary stuff that we'll be talking through. Just so you guys know, if you haven't watched draft analysis, that will be down in the description down below, and there should be a card floating up right here somewhere. So go check that out. That being said, we had our battle against our opponent. We had our week 1 opponent against Scrub Supreme. Guys, go check him out. He was a fantastic opponent. Scrub and I, we played. He has a ferocious team. He is coach of the Florida Dirges. Cool team name. Love Skeledurge. Just so you guys know, his team consisted of Gouging Fire, Deoxys Defense, Torkoal, Venusaur, King Gambit, Mamoswine, Zebstrika, Dodrio, Meowstic, Dashbun, and Servine. His Terra captains were obviously Torkoal, and a couple others too that I cannot remember off the top of my head. I think Dodrio was one and Servine was the other. All that being said, 6 Pokemon that I thought he was bringing that I was really prepped for was Gouging Fire, Defense, Deoxys, Torkoal, Venusaur, King Gambit, and Mamoswine. I could see different cases for Zebstrika maybe coming because of the speed tier, Dodrio for speed tier. Meowstic and Dashbun, Servine I didn't see coming as much, although Dashbun was a strong candidate just because it helps check my Roaring Moon. So with that, we brought our 6 against him, which included Roaring Moon, Scizor, Arcanine, Barraskewda, Dolphin, and oh my word, Tornadus. So really cool strats. We'll kind of walk through that a little bit as we go through the video. But I brought Rain Dance, Prankster, Tornadus because that would help us check the Torkoal if it came with the Sun. And then we ran some other different things for that. I ran a Yachi Berry on Roaring Moon so they could eat a hit from Mamoswine. I was really anticipating Mamoswine coming and being just a huge issue for our team. So we're going to dive into what 6 that he actually brought. And as we loaded on in with our opponent, we see that he brought the Gouging Fire, Dashbun, Zebstrika, Defense Deoxys, King Gambit, and Torkoal. So no Mamoswine, which was great. I was really happy to see that. But I put way too much prep into the fact that Mamo was coming. And that is going to appear very evident here in some things that we come across. So all that being said, we're going to get into the battle with our friend Scrub and see all that we can do from there. So as we consider our lead here against our opponent, obviously Toph goes in really, really hard. I saw a case where maybe he would try to lead Torkoal. I didn't really want to do an exchange of rocks, so I decided to go with Tornadus first as our lead. And as a result, we were faced against Zebstrika, which was not great. So I made an immediate switch out to my Donphan. Donphan obviously stops the Volt Switch shenanigans and helps really set this up. Next, we come in, see Deoxys form come in. So we opt for our own sets of rocks, and then we kind of just play it out from there. Scizor was my big check for Deoxys coming in. The Fury Cutter was an awesome strat. Technician boosted, Choice Band boosted. Was definitely a 2-shot on Deoxys no matter what form he was running. Even if he got up a set of Iron Defense, which I was really looking forward to popping off with this. And obviously he chose the Nightshade, which is doing 100 points of damage every single time because it's based upon level, which is actually a really good bringing on his part. Swap out into his own Torkoal, which I kind of anticipated a little bit here. So we just opt in for our own U-turn to continue with our own momentum initiative. Obviously I bring in Aang with the Rain Dance initiative with the ability to kind of offset what he may want to do here. Obviously if he was going to go for a Solar Beam or whatever the case. At the moment I did not realize though that he was not running Drought Torkoal. Regardless, I still set up my Rain Dance in case he had some sort of herb to help boost a Solar Beam or whatever, but he opts to get rid of the rocks on his side, which is honestly a great strat on his part. With Rain Dance up now, I have an awesome ability to hit Bleak Wind Storm, which is 100% in rain. So nothing is wanting to take this hit. We get an awesome hit on the Torkoal, which goes for the Yawn, which is problematic in my mind because I don't know if I want to maintain what is going on here. Obviously, switch is very needed at this point because if I didn't switch, obviously Tornadus goes to sleep next turn. That's not something I really want. Now, this would be an awesome turn for me if it didn't click Yawn again, which was honestly a great switch on his part, or a great prediction on his part. At this point, I'm wagering in my mind, do I want to set up with my D-Dance, as this is a great opportunity maybe for that, but a part of me is like, it's a little bit too early for that. So I opt to just click Earthquake. Donphan getting a KO on Torkoal was massive in my mind. I felt like this was an awesome play, an awesome point for us. Feeling really good, even though my Donphan is now asleep. In comes Zebstrika, which I thought was a bit strange. In my mind, I'm just going to burn a turn of sleep. He opts to tear his Zebstrika into the water type. I have set up rain for him. This is not good for us at all, because here comes the Terra Blast. Remember my draft analysis where I said Sturdy would come in handy on the special side of it? Yeah. Very important in this match. Now I have an option. I have a choice. Do I stay in and let my Donphan go down? Or do I switch on the fact that he may be clicking another Terra Blast here? Or any number of moves. I have to switch because I'm thinking he's going to click Terra Blast again. And at this point, I'm not too concerned about Druck. He's going to be able to eat one pretty easily here. Next thing in my mind is I'm just going to get some initiative here and momentum shift because it's not going great for us at this moment. So I opt for the U-turn and to get on out of there. He switches. Into his Dash Bond. Obviously a great move on his part. If I was going to click a Dragon or a Dark move. At this point I bring in Scizor, Lyn to do the work. Bullet Punch is doing a ton against this thing. Protect. Great bring. Great bring. Obviously, Bullet Punch, he recognizes is going to do a ton against his Dash Bun, so he opts for the switch. Again, great play. I'm obviously locked in. I get good chip. On the Zebstrika. At this point, I opt in to swap my Donphan in because in my mind, if he goes for a Volt Switch, very free, or I can at least block it. Goes for Terra Blast. I mean, Donphan's not doing a whole lot being asleep right now anyways. Obviously, clicks Terra Blast here. I mean, it's a great choice for him. Now, I have put enough speed investment into Thundurus, or in Tornadus, to outspeed Zebstrika. So I'm feeling pretty good in this moment here. So I'm just going to click Break Wind Storm. He scarfed it! Who scarfs their Zebstrika? This man. Good bring. Luckily, we take it out. Man. Things I was not expecting to be brought against me. Scarfed Zebstrika. But, again, Scrub, awesome bring on your part. In comes the scariest mon on his team, apart from the Deoxys defense form. I have no idea what this thing wants to do. So I set up the rain so I can nerf at least his water, or his fire moves. Any D-dances. I'm a little nervous at this point. Wouldn't you? Facing down a prehistoric fire demon. At this point, I consider my options. What do? Do I go for damage? Do I do whatever? And that is what I opt for. I opt for damage. 100% chance to lower speed, which is an awesome side effect. Break storms, wind, whatever it's called. He de-dances again. I get good damage on him, though. And I lower his speed, so now he's only +1 speed. So I go for it again. At this point, I'm just okay with letting Aang go down. He scale shots. Man brings Dragon Dance, scale shotting, gouging fire. Defenses falls, but his speed is up. So now he's back to +2. At this point in my mind, Arcanine is the answer. Intimidating, getting him at least to now only being +1. I'm figuring he's going to hit him pretty hard. And I don't know what he's thinking at this point. He's probably thinking I brought physical Arcanine, but I brought special. So with his -1 defense, he's probably concerned about that. So he switches out. And into this, which I'm guessing is well big body at this point, because he's probably anticipating my fire move. So we sit here in front of the dash bond. That is bulky as all can be. Can't click Flamethrower because, well, big body would make it immune. So what am I to do? I opt for my Scizor. He brings a Wish Protect set. I'm not saying anything look pretty dire at this moment, but they're starting to look pretty dire. He opts for the switch into his gouging fire to get it back up to full health with that wish. Obviously, U-turn does a lot there. Allows us to switch initiative. At this point, I'm running out of some options in my mind. So we swap in our Iroh, get the Intimidate off on this thing, make it -1. So if he wants to D-dance, we're better set for it. At this point, I brought Roar on this eventually because I was afraid that it might try to set up. But we go for the Scorching Sands again because, again, I don't want to click a fire move because of the dash bond in the back. And obviously, fire is 4 times resisted on gouging fire. So go for the Scorching Sands. I'm thinking if I get a burn on this Deoxys, that will help with the chippies. I don't game. At this point, I don't want this thing setting up on me. I'm thinking in my mind, okay, what do I want to do? Obviously, Scorching Sands did not do a lot. This thing is bulky as sin. So I have one option. I'm just going to roar it out. He asks for his own Stealth Rocks late game. Obviously, really good for him. I'm just going to have to deal with it. I got heavy duty boots on a couple of my guys, so I'm okay in my mind. But we roar it out. We push it out. All that sort of stuff. What's the worst that could come in? This thing. Dashbound comes in. Not great for us. Again, only thing I can do here is Scorching Sands. Get a little bit of chip. I'm not really sure Well-Baked Body stops it from being burned from Scorching Sands, but I'm just going to spare you some back and forth right now that I'm just going to click Scorching Sand a couple times because I'm hoping to get that. I'm also thinking in my mind, okay, at what point can I switch out because I don't want to take a body press from this thing if that's what it's running, or play rough or whatever the case may be because obviously he's probably running Fairy. So I know he has Protect, Wish at this point, but I don't know what else he may have. So I opt for another Scorching Sands. See the body press. Again, part of the reason why I didn't want to switch out in the first place. Get some more chippy. Now, he has Wish. The smart choice at this point would be to swap. I'm hoping for a burn. I should have swapped last turn. I did not. And sometimes when draft battles, you get tunnel vision and you just kind of get stuck in a pattern that you want to run with. Yeah, that happened. He opts to switch. In comes his Gouging Fire, which I'm hoping Scorching Sand does a lot here. But again, he just set up a Wish, so he gets it all right back. For the Roar, because again, I don't want this thing setting up on me. He has EQ. Does a lot. He got free health. He got massive damage. Much better play on his part. In comes the King Gambit. Now I'm going to be completely honest. At this point in the battle, I did not pay attention enough to see that it did not have Supreme Overlord. I just assumed it did. Hence why I went out into Scizor at this point. I also thought he was going to click Sucker Punch at that point. Massive mistake on my part. I let Scizor go down way too soon, and that is going to come back and bite me. At this point, I bring in Roaring Moon, not Iron Valiant, Roaring Moon, because I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do here? I can EQ. EQ is pretty free against this team. Does not do nearly as what I was hoping. And he brings Brick Break, which is really good on his part. Again, now I have a choice. What is he going to click? And he brings the Sucker Punch, which, understandably, I mean, is one of the best moves that King Gambit gets for his speed tier and everything else. So now I bring in my Arcanine. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, I got to get this thing down to -1 in attack. And maybe that'll help me live whatever may come. Again, I thought it was Supreme Overlord. If I had been paying enough attention, I would have known he was Defiant. So this is really bad for me now. So I'm just like, what do I do? What do I do? Is he going to click Sucker Punch? Is he going to click another move? I'll click Roar. And at this point, I was astounded by the fact that he outsped me. What I forgot was Roar is minus priority in move. And to be completely fair, I thought he was clicking Sucker Punch, honestly. Little did I know that he was just going to let it go down. If I had clicked Flamethrower, I would have been okay. So now, I pretty much have the only thing left to do is pray that I live a hit, click my Terra, click Liquidation, and just hope something goes my way in this. But it's pretty much red at this point, right? Barraskewda is a glass cannon for a reason. And glass cannons hate physical, offensive Pokemon. King Gambit takes me down. So we lose this one 4-0. Again, Scrub brought a fantastic team against me. I prepped in my mind for so many different Pokemon, and I was so much more concerned about other Pokemon that were coming that I did not put the proper prep into some of these others. And as a result, it kind of showed in the battle. So week 1, rusty, kind of getting all my nerves and stuff out, feeling pretty good. At this point, my son was not even born yet, so there was all that pressure too from that family, personal side of it. So week 2, hopefully will be better for you guys, and you guys will be able to enjoy that. But hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that like button, subscribe, do all this sort of stuff. Also, if you made this far into the video, just comment Renegade Zarudes. Thanks again, and all you do. Peace.